Hey, what's up guys? Matt here once again, and today we're gonna put together a video for you guys on cheek piercings. What I think about cheek piercings, how to heal cheek piercings, and just basic cheek piercing information. So first thing I wanna say is I am not a huge fan of cheek piercings, and that is really for one reason and one reason only. Cheek piercings are really hard to heal, okay? So know that going into them. I think they're super cute. I think they look really awesome on girls, guys even also. But just know they are really hard to heal. When I say really, I mean really hard to heal. So I want to emphasize that part. Now, if you are just really determined and you're just like, I love cheek piercings, I want to get them done. You're kind of going for that dimple look, which these definitely will give you. There's two different avenues to pursue or to look into when getting cheek piercings. Well, to backtrack really quick, the first avenue you should always look into is to make sure you find a reputable piercer in your area that can perform these properly, because they are not easy piercings and they're not really for a beginner piercer to do. So make sure you got someone with some experience and someone who knows what they're doing first. Now, with that being said, two things you want to take into consideration when getting cheek piercings. How do you want them done? The first way is to get them actually pierced with little labrets. Actually, I shouldn't say little, they're gonna be long, but labret bars, okay? Like a labret barbell that you would see in any lip piercing. The second way is gonna be to get them done with dermal anchors, okay? Dermal anchors have become really, really popular, and they're great for cheek piercings. I really like them for cheek piercings. Now, what are the pros and cons of both, and why would you do one over the other? Well, let's start with dermal anchors. Dermal anchors are awesome because they're really easy for you to heal. Unlike its counterpart with a labret bar, which is really hard to heal, the dermal anchors are really, really simple to heal. I would say, you know, around 2 months, you should be pretty good and healed. You won't really notice too much discoloration and irritation from the dermal anchors during those 2 months. There will be a little, but it'll be minor. The only downside to dermal anchors is if you go and catch them or snag them, you can always pop them out. Also in the future, when you do decide to take them out, you're not really gonna be left with those dimples, that dimple effect that a lot of girls are going for, or even guys for that matter, are going for when they get these piercings. So the anchors aren't really gonna give you those dimples, okay? They just look great when the anchors are in there, but when you take them out, you might have a tiny little scar there, but it'll be pretty minimal, and you're not gonna get that big divot that you would see with like a labret bar, okay? So with that being said, I really like the dermal anchors. They're so easy and so straightforward to heal. If you just love the look of like gems right there in your cheeks or whatever type of jewelry, it's a great option. Now, your second choice would be with the labret bars, okay? Labret bars, now those are more than likely, not always, but more than likely gonna give you the actual dimples. If that's what you're going for, then that's what you wanna look into, is getting pierced with labret bars. Now, the downside to that is cheeks are glands. So you have saliva glands inside your cheeks, and because of that, it makes it a lot harder to heal. You're gonna get a lot of funky discharge and a lot of leaking and a lot of other weird stuff going on with the cheeks, okay? We're not gonna go into exactly what that is, but just know that there is a lot of funky stuff going on when you get cheek piercings with labret bars. Now, cheeks are really thick, all right? A lot of people don't realize how thick a cheek is. Sometimes I use longer bars when piercing cheeks than I do for tongue piercings. When I pierce your cheeks with a labret bar, I'm gonna pierce them with a really long bar, okay? So expect them to be kind of sticking out like antennas, and they're gonna be sticking out like antennas for that entire first month. So know that. After a month, we can downsize, okay? I always recommend having maybe 3 or 4 different labret bar sizes available for you. So don't be surprised if you have to purchase a few different sizes. Let's say in a month, we go and we downsize your cheeks, okay? Well, in another month or a week or even 2 or 3 days, your cheeks might wanna flare up, okay? You're gonna need those longer bars, all right? So you gotta come back and get a longer bar. It might not be as long as the first one, but it might be longer, who knows? It depends on what your cheek is doing. So definitely know that over the course of the healing period, and the healing period, it's really hard to give you an exact answer. Definitely no sooner than 2 or 3, maybe 4 months, but expect it to be 6 months, a year. I've seen these things not heal in 2 or 3 years. So just know that over the course of the healing period, however long that may be or even short that may be, you're probably gonna have to fluctuate between bar sizes. There will be some weeks or months where you can get a really snug bar in there, and some weeks you're gonna need a lot longer bar. But hopefully you found a reputable piercer in your area and they can really help you easily change that jewelry. It's usually not something you can do on your own. but they can help you change that out. Another thing, I would say a negative aspect to getting cheek piercing with the Labrets is it is putting those metal discs on the inside of your mouth. So when it's on the inside of your mouth, just know that you can bite on that. There's a high probability you could bite on it and chip up your teeth. That's just the nature of the beast with those guys. Hopefully, when you get more into a healed state, if you even get to that point, you can put bars in there that are tight enough that'll kind of pull it into your cheeks a bit and pull it away from your teeth, and then it should be really comfortable and awesome. But just know that up until that point, you gotta be really careful not to bite on them, okay? Now with cheeks, during the healing, because it does get so much movement from talking, eating, all that fun stuff, even sleeping, sometimes you're gonna bump it and snag it, lay on it, you probably gonna get some keloiding going on. Keloiding is just a slang term for other things that could be going on, but it's basically just raised tissue popping out of the piercing. That's normal, all right? Do know going into this that it's your face. So any irritation or anything funky going on, everybody's gonna see it. Any photo or picture you take, it's gonna show, okay? So be aware of that. And you know, I'm not trying to discourage you from cheek piercings or talk anybody out of cheek piercings because I love them. I think they look super cute, but I'm also trying to tell you why I'm not the biggest fan of cheek piercings, okay? With all that being said, and you decide to go through and get the cheek piercings, how do you take care of it? So just like any other piercing, you're gonna wanna be doing saltwater soaks, okay? Now, saltwater soaks, what you do is you go to the grocery store, get a gallon of distilled water. Distilled water, you know, it's really cheap. Any grocery store should have it. It's in the drinking water section. From there, go to the salt section, get some non-iodized sea salts, okay? Also really easy. Any grocery store's gonna have that also. When you get home, it's 4 teaspoons of that salt, pour it into the gallon of distilled water, okay? So 4 to 1. Shake it up, that gives you the big jug to keep around the house. Once, maybe twice a day, take a shot glass or a coffee cup. Just make sure it's always glass or porcelain, never paper or plastic. Fill it up with a saltwater solution, microwave for a few seconds. You just want it barely body temperature. And you're gonna turn your head to the side, push it up against your face. This is where like a shot glass works really, really well. Push it up against your face, push really hard, you kind of almost seal itself off, and you wanna submerge it and soak it for a few minutes, okay? Once you're done with that side, do the same thing on the other side. Now, it's not a bad idea to, after you've gone and done that, to rinse out for 30 seconds with the salt water, okay? Rinse out, and that'll kind of help clean up the inside a little bit. Rinse out, 30 seconds, spit it out, you're good to go. Now, really important, you know, as always, no spinning and rotating the jewelry. So once you have your jewelry in there, if you're constantly spinning and rotating it, it's just gonna be that much scarring and hypertrophic scarring and keloiding and stuff like that that could possibly form. Also, you could possibly bring dirt and bacteria inside the piercing from all the movement. So really important, keep your movement down to a minimum and don't touch them, don't play with them, don't spin and rotate them, just leave them alone, let them be. Hopefully you guys got something from that. Like I said, once again, I think cheek piercings are super cute. I think they look awesome, but there is a lot of work going into cheek piercing. So if you do decide to get your cheeks pierced and you're not a fan of the anchors, you don't wanna go the anchor route, you actually wanna go the route of the Labrets, just know it's gonna be some work. So go into it being dedicated and just doing it for the sake that you love the look of it, and good luck with it. So thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.